Want to optimize your construction projects with 5S and visual management? Join the ZIGURAT Lean Day 2025. Join Lean experts Bruno, Mota and Fernanda, Brandalise in this online event. Get your spot. Want to optimize your construction projects with 5S and visual management? Join the ZIGURAT Lean Day 2025. Join Lean experts Bruno, Mota and Fernanda, Brandalise in this online event. Get your spot.
Welcome to ZIGURAT Lean Day 2025, our annual event dedicated to lean methodology and its impact on project and construction management. It's a pleasure to have you here as we explore the best lean practice driving efficiency and innovation in our industry. I'm Thaisa, Institutional Manager at ZIGURAT. And before we begin, I'd like to introduce ZIGURAT to those joining us for the first time. ZIGURAT is a leading online education institution with over 20 years of experience offering specialized courses and master's programs in management, technology, and innovation within the construction industry. Our programs focus on cutting-edge methodologies, innovative tools, and emerging technologies. And today, we are a global community of over 20,000 professionals from 120 nationalities, including students, alumni, and faculty members. This event is brought to you by our Lean Construction Management postgraduate program. I invite you to scan the QR code on the screen or check the link in the chat to learn more about this program and connect with our admission team. Now I would like to make this session a little bit more interactive, so we want to hear from you. Please tell us in the chat from which city are you joining us today and what's your role in the construction industry. And now let's get started. I'm pleased to welcome Fernanda Brandalise, Lean Project Manager at Thinking Lean and Professor at ZIGURAT, who will guide us through the world of 5S and visual management. Thank you, Fernanda, and the floor is all yours.
Good evening, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fernanda.
So let's start with this way of visual management and 5S. Just to beginning, I would like to present myself, okay? I have a degree in architecture and urban planning, and also a master and a PhD in civil engineering. All my academic career, I studied at Universidade Federal do Rio Grande do Sul in Brazil. I'm from Brazil, that's why my accent, okay? I also had some academic international experience in Spain, in Cardenal Herrera, and at NTNU in Norway. Actually, nowadays I work as a Lean project manager and trainer in Think Lean here in Spain. I'm based in Valence, in Spain, and I'm also a professor at ZIGURAT in both programs, in the postgraduate program in Lean Construction Management and also in the International Masters in Construction Project Management. So on my main interests as the works and research is about lean construction, visual management, sustainability, and active learning methods. Okay. And it's a pleasure to connect with everybody at LinkedIn. I'm very active there. I'm always doing some posts regarding Lean construction world. So if you want to connect me, there is my name on LinkedIn. Okay. For starting the presentation, I would like to present you the 3 levels of Lean implementation by Thinking Lean, the company that I work for, that I collaborate for. We can applicate Lean at the site, and for that, some tools are the last planner system, the takt-time planning, the 5S and the visual management, and also the PDCI cycles. We can also applicate Lean Enterprise. In this sense, we have other tools as well, such as Lean Implementation Roadmap, involving all people in the company as in a collaboration program, analyze all the process, not only production. And finally, we have our IPD projects, Integrated Project Delivery projects, in a collaborative contracts with target value design and collaborative management. Here I present you the Thinking Lean toolbox. We have a lot of tools to work when we implement Lean. For example, the last planner system for planification of our construction sites and our projects, the IPD, takt-time planning, the system thinking, value stream mapping, Kaizen as well. But today our focus is on visual management and 5S. Particularly, I'm super fan of visual management. Both my thesis on masters and on my PhD degree was about visual management. So it's a thing that I've been studying and working a lot for many years. I have around 8 years of experience in applying Lean construction. So why we apply 5S in general? Because we can observe in construction site a lot of waste. Taishi Ono, wrote about that. He developed the seven kinds of waste, and we have the overproduction, the inventory, transport, movement, overprocessing, waiting, rework, and we can find one more kind of waste. There are some contradictions on literature for define the eighth waste, and some people say that could be the talent not used. That is very important to recover, okay, especially when we apply less planner systems, and also could be considered the making do. Okay, so this is a controversy that we have in literature, but both are acceptable. And 5S and visual management come to cope with, to reduce this kind of waste, because lean construction, what means lean construction? Okay, we want to add value to our clients by reducing reducing waste. So let's focus on that. And how do you do that? A way to do that is to have our Gemba walks. Gemba walks is for identify the waste. Gemba is the Japanese term for actual place in English would be. It's often used for the shop floor or any place where value creating work actually occurs. So it's go to the site and really see what's happening. It's important to go there and to see what is happening, and then to solve the problems that could be there. Okay, so this is the first step to analyze waste. Go to the site by having our Gemba walks, because sometimes we can find places like that. It's a totally unsafe situation. It's a true construction site. Okay, all the pictures I bring to you. In this example, we have a totally unsafe situation. We have mix useful materials mixed with scrap that is waste, and in this sense, we have this uninterrupted walkway. Sorry. So it's a very common, unfortunately, place we can find in our construction sites with a lot of waste identified, and we just can see that by going to the construction site and seeing that, but in our Gemba walks. And in our Gemba walks, we also can find situations like that, a very dirty place with blue and all the stuff, rest of materials that stay on the construction site. For sure, these are I'm presenting you extreme situations, okay? But it's very important to talk and to make the contradiction as how deep we can do using by 5S for organizing all these places. Another example of better logistics inventory. We have a lot of stock of material here, totally disorganized with no coordination. It's a dirty place as well. So how can we get it better? Because it's a very unsafe situation too. Here is another very interesting example I bring to you. This here is an example of waste of transport, okay? Due to bad logistics, because in this case, the guy took like around 10 minutes to transport something that should last 30 seconds, just because there were strong material in his way. So just by putting things in their own correct way, it will be much faster do all this process of transportation. But let's see, why is so difficult to identify waste on construction sites? First of all, they are usually riding, okay? Second, not productive tasks are assumed as productive ones. It's very difficult to understand what is productive and what is not productive in a construction site, because sometimes we have this waste needed, like transport some materials. Okay. Third, companies get used to them. Fourth, employees do not know how to identify them. They have not been trained for identify the waste. And five, waste is not measured or quantified in euros or dollars or whatever, in money, okay? And finally, production system is focused on improving the performance of individual tasks instead of adopting a holistic management, okay? So we are really burning our money with all these wastes on construction sites, okay? Because consequently, waste and unproductivity become rooted in companies. And in going in this sense, why are the 5S the foundation for improvement activities? First of all, because in a clean construction site, there are fewer defects. A second reason is because delivery deadlines are better achieved. Also, it's much safer. And finally, it contributes to a higher productivity. But how is the birth of 5S? Where is it come from? As almost all tools of lean construction, the 5S is a methodology that was born in Toyota as well in the 60s in an industrial environment and with the aim of achieving better organized, more orderly and cleaner workspace on a permanent basis to achieve greater productivity and a better work environment. So, although conceptually simple, it's essential to implement them under rigorous and disciplined methodology. And let's see together now which are the 5S. We start with the first S that is called seiri in Japanese, sort in English. And what is this? Is to separate needed from unneeded items, such as tools, parts, materials, paperwork, etc. And discard the unneeded. So we go to the gemba, we go to our construction site, and we analyze: is this really needed to be there? And if it's not, we have to remove these materials that are not needed in the place. The second S is seiton, straighten in English. And it means that nearly arrange what is left. A place for everything and everything in its place. So we have to arrange items that are needed in a neat and easy to use manner. So first of all, we remove what is not needed, and then we organize the needed items. The third S is seiso or shine in English. That means that we have to clean and wash. Or that means clean up the work area, equipment, and tools. Make everything cleaning. The fourth S, first of all, we implement all the three first S, and then we standardize that. That is our fourth S, seiketsu. So the overall cleanness and order that results from disciplined practice of the first three S's. And finally, our 5S is shitsuki. Sorry, Japanese is not I don't have the manual of Japanese, but it means sustain. That is discipline to perform the first four S, and then keep in this continuous improvement process. So let's see some examples of application of 5S. So we understand the why we're using the 5S for reduce the waste, and now let's see together applications of that. For example, when we can analyze the material we have in our construction sites and make observation if they are scrap and have to be removed, if they can be in a quarantine moment. Let's see if it's useful or not, or if we have to reallocate them. So it's a kind of separation of our material to understand better why, for what is it for? Here, another example of application of 5S. We have this container in the left side before application 5S, very disorganized, dirty, with a lot of unnecessary materials. And in our second picture, we will have the after situation with an organized container with only the materials that are needed. It's a cleaner space, and everything is organized. This is very interesting because here I present in the left picture example that is a simple table with order. For sure there is order in the left picture, but in the right one it's a 5S table because we can see some difference, especially by marking where is the place for each item. So everything has a place in a 5S space. In order to, if I remove some item, I can easily understand that something is missing. Sorry. Another example that we can use just by putting numbers in our tools, in our equipments, and then we can use the material and we know that something is missing and easily go back to the right place as well. We can see in the picture in the right side as well with the marking the board of each equipment. So it's very interesting. It's I'm giving for you some examples so you can easily adapt for your reality since minute one. And here is a little bit a joke, but in COVID, it was very necessary to apply 5S as well. So every person has a place to be. And here we use a visual management tool as well, because when we had in COVID the thought, oh, I have to stay 1 meter by distance of other person. I don't know how is 1 meter, but if I mark on the floor the distance, I can easily be in the right place as well. And we can apply 5S in our offices too. I know it's a very a little bit freaky the picture of the right side, but it's a way to organize. So remove the materials, keep it organized and in a clean way. And in the left side, we can see another example of application of 5S in the stock of foods as well, putting everything first in, first out, as it happens in supermarkets. Is our Kanban systems. Okay, so we will consume first what was bought before. Another example in a office, in a construction site office as well, for the meetings, we can delimitate the place for every tool on the table, and then when we use it, it's very easy to put it in the right place after the use. Other example of use of that, we have the right place for the post-it. It's in a last planner session with a team here in Spain. Other example, the right place for the chairs as well, for the table, for the coffee machine on the table. So it's very, it's sometimes like, oh, it looks like I'm talking with kids, but sometimes to tell the obvious is necessary too, and it's a way to facilitate our lives and our professional commitments on the construction site. In the zone of stocks as well, to have the pathway well delimited by some paint on the floor, so people can easily walk in the right way, and not is a safe way of not to be with vehicles as well. Another example in 5S in logistics, it's made by hand. The guy there just mark in this design, saying the place for stock of each material and marking where the person is on the floor. It's a very way to communicate. So it's for make it all the information cleaning. And you can see the relationship between 5S and visual management, because 5S is using visual management for communicate all this information. Another example of organization of materials as well, always using labels for indicate the kind of material that we are having in our stocks. The board of 5S as well is very important to inform all the process of implementation of 5S, comparing the situation before, that's antes, and after, después. And also we have the auditory of 5S. Every week we can go to the Gamba and see how is it improving, how organized we are, how cleaning we are, and this generate a safe competition among different stakeholders on the company. Another example of a 5S border, now highlighting the 5S itself in the center, and the 5S teams put responsibility for people. People can have to feel part of this process of 5S implementation. And now I'm going to bring some ideas regarding visual management as well, a little bit about that. I'm very passionate about this term, as I mentioned before. And by definition, visual management is a sensorial strategy to make information clear and accessible. What I mean about sensorial strategy, that's because visual management includes messages communicated by any of the 5 senses. Even so, the visual one is the most used. So that's why the term is known by visual management and not by sensorial management. Okay, but everything we can touch, we can listen, it's visual management as well, if you have to transmit information in our construction sites. During my PhD thesis, I also developed this serious game we call. It's the visual management game, and for whom that will be my student during the post-graduation program, for sure we are going to play these games. It's for the objective of the game is for really for discuss a lot of examples of visual management applications, because we can use visual management for safety reasons, for quality, for control, for efficiency control, productivity control. And during the game, I bring a lot of examples and we discuss visual management regarding 4 aspects that are important for visual management, that are the purpose of these visual management threats, the requirements, that the characteristics that are needed for the visual management practices, the role of communication of this practice, and finally the role of collaboration of this practice. It's a very interactive game, and for sure we are going to have a lot of fun together by playing there in our classes. Another thing that's very important to have in mind when we talk about visual management is that what we see, listen, and touch is only like the top of the iceberg, as we can observe here in this model developed by Valente. There is a model for devising visual device, because before arriving in the visualization format of that information, we have 3 steps before. That is to observe the process that we have to inform about, to analyze the user needs, because it's very important in construction sites. Many people in some contexts cannot read in our construction site. So the use of image, pictures is very important on that. So understand our user. Finally, we have to integrate the practice in the process, in a process routine. So make sessions using the visual management tool, and only after that we are going to define the visual device attributes, how it will looks like. So it's very important to follow these steps before just design the visual management practice. And here we have an example of visual management in practice as well. For planification, it's an example of application of less planner systems. And the best friend in visual management are the post-its. We use a lot of posters for communication. Here we have a master plan, and I use post-it for planification there in a collaborative way with all the stakeholders in the construction site. So it's a very interactive session as well. But for sure, it's important to have the traceability of this information. This one is in a big room, as we call, where everybody can, at a glance, have the information. But in this master plan, okay, the columns are the weeks of the development of the site, the project, sorry, and the first two columns are the phase and the zones of application of these activities. But all this information has traceability in a digital format. It's very important to have the transcription of the information for digital tools as well, to use the best of the two worlds for sure. Here we are using Excel, that is a very basic, but in the market we can have other apps as well, as I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Another example here of visual management for look ahead plannings. So we have the master plan of all the construction site, construction project, and we have in medium term the look ahead, analyze the constraints for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Also, once again, using post-its and reproducing all this information in a digital tool as well, that could be supported by other apps that we have at the market. I bring you some examples of that as well. And finally, for ending my presentation, I would like to give you some essential bibliography for whom has more interest on the theme. Okay, regarding visual management and 5S, I super recommend you the book in the center of the picture, the Visual Factory of Michael Grave. It's very interesting, this book, and we have a lot of examples of application of visual management on that. Here, for whom who speaks Spanish, I recommend you these 4 books that were wrote by Juan Felipe Pons, that's the CEO of Thinking Lean, where I collaborate. And it's very interesting how Juan Felipe could making a simpler way to understand all the concepts of lean construction. And it's free for download. Okay, here is the link as well. Other links of interest, some articles in the lean construction blog, and some videos on YouTube regarding 5S and visual management. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for your attention. Obrigada in Portuguese. Here we have the QR code for connect with me on LinkedIn in the left side, and on the right side there is the QR code for our postgraduate program in lean construction management to be part of this amazing group we are making together. And that's it. Thank you very much for your attention.
That was perfect, Fernanda. Thank you so much. That was excellent. And now, let's open the discussion. Joining Fernanda, I'd like to welcome Bruno Mota, Associate Director at Assistant, Lean Director at CIPRO, Professor and Program Director at ZIGURAT. Welcome, Bruno. And we also want to hear from you, our audience, so please feel free to share your questions in the chat. Bruno, would you like to kick off the discussion by asking Fernanda a question?
By all means, let me do it. Thank you for the warm welcome, Thaisa. And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this inspiring session. Fernanda just gave us a fantastic presentation on visual management. Fernanda, thank you very much. Your presentation was really, really insightful. I think you've given us a lot to think about it, especially for me, how making information more transparent and accessible can transform the way that the kind of teams collaborate and make decisions on site. For me, on the project that I'm on, it's really, really, really important. I'm sure that everyone online could see that there is a connection between 5S and visual management and lean principles, and all this connection can bring a lot of value to our projects. By the way, just to reinforce what I think Thaisa and Fernanda said, Fernanda and I will be professors on the new postgraduate course in construction management. So hopefully to see a lot of you there. It will be a very, very nice fun to do it. I can see that we already have some questions on the chat. So let's start with one from Eric. There we go. Fernanda, you've mentioned that companies often get used to waste, right? So you say in your background, remember that.
Yes.
Employees may not know how to identify those waste. What strategies do you think are more effective?
So as I mentioned, for me, the most effectivity strategies would combine both the gamble walks and training. Gamble walks, it will be very useful to observe problems directly in the workplace, go there, go to the construction site and see it. While the training provides structural solutions and develops a lean mindset. That's very important to develop a lean mindset. So combine both of these tools is very important. Besides that, I would say that forming the 5S teams fosters collaboration, because we have to keep this in mind. We have to have collaboration in a lean construction site. So to make all this training helps a lot. And for sure, the visual management enhance communication, transparency on communication, and make the problems it's interesting, because it's not like it's a magical world that with lean construction we don't have problems anymore. No, it's not our objective. What you want is that we can see easily the problems and solve it easily and faster.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll also if I may complement that, I may also include like a lot of training in courses and try to change the language a little bit depending on the level of the workers, and then train them to understand what a waste is and how to identify them. I think it's very important. It's a very important lean aspect to empower the teams to collaborate with us. So why not train them a lot? Good. Thanks, Fernanda.
Thank you, Eric, for your question.
Is all right. Let's go for the second question, also from Eric. Let's go for the second one on the chat. So, based on the Thinking Lean toolbox, how do you determine the appropriate sequence for implementing lean tools, such as 5S, value stream mapping, Kaizen? I think you showed us kind of a toolbox with a lot of
Yes, a lot of tools. Yeah. Thank you, Eric.
It's all right.
Thank
Go for it.
Thank you, Eric, for your question as well. So I would say that to start is with the simplest, like and starting by starting, and for that, 5S is a very interesting way to start because it's about cleaning the space and just keep the necessary things and organize that. And we have studies that prove that just by reducing the waste, productivity can improve in 20%. It's a very easy way to observe improvement on performance in people just by having the workplace cleaner and organized, because we have our mind cleaning as in this kind of place. But for sure we can have other tools as well that are more complex, such as the value stream mapping. It's very useful for identify the bottlenecks and the inefficiencies as well. And for sure, Kaizen sessions for continuous improvement is very interesting too. But I would say for start with the easiest, and the easiest is to apply 5S, visual management for communication, for the right people in the right time, in the right place. It's important to do some things like that.
No, brilliant. I'll also say, Eric, is that and it's not only for visual management or anything like this, but everything that we do on lean, if it's a lean implementation on the concepts, we'll try to identify the quick wins. So you try to map out the process and try to identify which one is kind of the quickest ones and the easiest ones to try to change and make it better. Because then I think usually the lean implementations, it's a strategy implementation. It takes a long time.
Yeah.
So if you identify the quick wins, you can
cultural change at all.
Exactly. So it takes time to actually change the culture. So try to identify the quick wins, something that you can do easily, quick. So you keep everyone motivated to get more and more and more. But yeah.
And
Good.
in our programs, we have a training of 5S. I'm going to explain it for you as well in our classes on 5S. That's a 5S implementation in 5 weeks. So we have a step by step what we have to do in 5 weeks to implement 5S. And it's very interesting because how Bruno mentioned, we have this quick wins. So okay, in this week I got it. The second week I got it this point, and so on. And people, it's like we have this sense of competition as human beings, like if we are playing something, it's nice to do that and make this safety competition among stakeholders as well, like make some analysis of teams, comparing them regarding the how they are cleaning their workspace, how are they organizing that, how are they doing their productivity, efficiency, and so on. So make this safety competition and put this information in a visual board, make people like, okay, I have to do this better. I want to be beautiful in the picture, how we used to say, no?
All right, happy days. I can see that Eric is on fire. He has a lot of questions, but I'm going to skip the next two ones, Eric. I do apologize because I think they're very good ones to conclude in a second. and I'll ask the one from Ahmed. Right. Fernanda is a little bit long, but on the screen you can see the second bit, which is actually the question. But Ahmed is saying that always think that the lean principles could be implemented on the design stage. What do you think is any of the principles mentioned have been implemented in the design management process? So basically, how can we define the waste in the design management? Yeah, for
Very
example,
good
lean
question.
waste can be clear and structural design. For example, how different it is from construction sites to the design phase.
Yeah, it's a very nice, interesting question, this one. Well, we have these categories of waste, and for sure it's easiest to find it in a physical place than in design phase. But for example, we have to reduce information for the only necessary. For example, to have our model with the information that is needed. Just put that what is needed. Not a lot of information that brings models very heavy in terms of information and in megabytes as well. So, and to have the process, the traceability of the stakeholders, of the changes as well, to have all this traceability, it's very important. These are kind of ways to implement in the design phase. Do you have another ideas as well, Bruno,
I
to
do. I do.
comment?
Actually, I do. I don't want to give it a lot of spoilers because it's part of my first class on the course.
Okay.
Once we go through the 7 ways from Toyota and then the 8th ways, like Fernanda said, we do draw this parallel between construction sites and the design phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every time that you if you multitask, for instance, and I'm one to blame for that. Multitasking is a type of waste because then you're gonna leave a lot of people waiting for information, and you're gonna wait for information as well. Sometimes it can be something silly. If you reply all on every email, it's overproduction of responses. And sometimes it can be on the design phase, but it can be physical at the office, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have large batches of design, so if you produce a lot of architectural designs, drawings, send that to the structural designer. If the batch is too big, that's the type of waste. We're going to see that in the class as well. If you even in an office, it can be a construction office, it can be anything. But if you have a lot of accumulated papers, bills for payment, for instance, then you need to do some pool planning, and you need to do some Kanban to reduce the inventory of papers. So there are lots of examples that can be physical in the office environment and can be digital as well. But we can cover that on the class.
Yeah.
But it was a good question. I'll give you that.
Great question. Like that.
All right, Fernanda, I have 2 ones from Eric.
Okay.
And I think we can answer those ones and then start to finish. They are similar questions, but Eric is asking for the opposite things. So basically, given your experience in implementing 5S and visual management, what are the challenges? So what are the areas for implementation? And after you've given us the areas, then we can change the question on the screen to what are the benefits, right? Once I start doing that, what can I get?
Okay. So let's start with the challenge. I would say for sure the cultural resistance of changing, because people are used to do their things in a way, and every change it demands energy and people seems to have a little bit of resistance. But in the first step, that we have the quick win that we mentioned before, that they can observe the improvement of their work by implementing 5S visual management. It's very interesting how people assume that it's better to use and to keep it in the routine. And actually one of the S is standardized and to have the discipline. So we implement the first third S, and then we standardize them by audit sessions, and then we create the discipline to make it part of people too. So once we go oh gosh, Bruno, superar in English. How is superar?
To overcome.
Overcome, that's it. We overcome the cultural resistance. We, for sure, people are super proud, and when we are in the trainings in construction side, they come to me as a lean consultant and make Fernanda, see what we made here. We super organized our stock. Now we have labels for everything. Everything has a place, and they are super proud of that. So it's very, very, very nice. And could you repeat the second question, please?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, not a problem. What are the benefits that you expect to achieve once you implement visual management?
Oof, a lot, a lot. First of all, I would say the transparency of information. It's very important. Something that's a very observable benefit we can see, because we ensure that everyone that has the access to the critical data at the same place, that is in the right place as well. Second, I could say, let's see, it's improve collaboration. People feel more comfortable to collaborate in 5S workplace with visual management. We have, very important, we live in capitalist world after all. We have the financial gains as well, because we reduce waste such as reworks. So it's a way to to have gains in terms of money as well. Safety, more safety in the construction sites. Time savings too, because we have more efficiency. And so, sorry, I have to drink water.
Take your time. Well, Fernanda is drinking a little bit of water. I think we can see that it might take some time because it's a cultural change. But the benefits of implementing 5S in visual management are worth the effort to do so. It's part of a bigger lean implementation. So give it time, look for the quick wins. And we can assure you that the benefits and the results are enormous. And so we've been doing this for quite a while, and it works. It really works.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, thank you. Eric, hope to see you in our classes.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Eric, Ahmed, and everyone else, thanks for being online. Thanks for the questions and sharing. Hope everything is clear. Fernanda, thank you very much for your presentation. I'm really happy. I think our time is up. Thaisa, you should come back for your closing remarks.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Fernanda and Bruno, for sharing your expertise and insights today. And that's it. I think we can finish the session, no? Thank you so much. And a big thank you to all of you for joining us today. We hope to see you at our next event, and take care and goodbye.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Want to optimize your construction projects with 5S and visual management? Join the ZIGURAT Lean Day 2025. Join Lean experts Bruno Mota and Fernanda Brandalise in this online event. Get your spot.